I definitely want to give a warm welcome and appreciation to Groton Utilities. They've been a great sponsor of ours for this event and made it all possible. So Groton Utilities. And we had numerous corporations that bought tables, and I want to thank you all for doing so and supporting the GBA. Thank you very much. At this point, James, I want to recognize our host today, which is Fairview. And James Rosenman is going to just say a couple of words.
All right. Thanks. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Great. Yeah, I assume this is wireless. I'm glad it is. Welcome. Thank you for coming this morning. We're glad to have the GBA here, and hope you're enjoying your wonderful breakfast. I do want to thank our dietary and our food service staff, and for Tricia for really coordinating and setting this up this morning. So thank you. Again, just briefly, if you haven't been to Fairview before, welcome. We are a provider of a continuum of care provider in the region. We are a 5-star skilled nursing facility. We do rehabilitation. We do long-term care. We specialize in memory care. We have these beautiful homes which we've built over the last few years, which thankfully we ended in quotes construction in January, and so. With our Thames Edge project, so we have 40 new homes on campus, which we're really proud of. Fairview has a long tradition, long history in the community. We've been here since 1892. We've evolved over the years and really grown, since our roots, where we had a home where we really took care of orphans and widows, and over time as we've developed into a modern provider, and we serve hundreds of people, every day. We have over 200 employees, and we believe strongly in working with the local community to purchase goods and services, and so we see ourselves as a major employer in the area, but also as a great and engaged member of the greater community. So welcome again, and enjoy the rest of the morning.
Okay, just a little bit about the GBA, just a little. We tend to hold the monthly meetings every month at a different venue, have dynamic speakers about all matters affecting Groton and Groton's economic development, and we're rather proud of that. We also do a lot of advocacy, on behalf of the businesses here in Groton for positive economic development. We don't always win. If you read the papers, we don't always win, but we're always out there fighting on behalf of businesses here in Groton. If you want to know more about us, we do have a website. It's called grotonbiz.com, Groton, Bravo, India, Zulu.com. Okay, please check it out, know more about us. We're an all-volunteer organization. There's a lot to do, and we're very, very fortunate that we're an affiliate of the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Kristen, raise your hand over there. And without them, we couldn't get anything done, believe me, without Kristen and Hannah. And if businesses in the room are not already members of the Mystic Chamber, I encourage you to do so. They offer wonderful benefits, and it's also supporting the community. Another thing that GBA does is we put out banners on Bridge Street. And we have one more banner left. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But this year, because of Connecticut Submarine Century, we are honoring the Navy base, and this is the emblem right here, what it looks like. So we're going to have 11, they're not quite that big, but 11 banners on Bridge Street. I need someone in this room today to see Kristen and apply for that last banner. It's $250 for the banner for the season. There's 6,600 cars that drive down Bridge Street each day. That's 1 million impressions. So if anybody does any kind of marketing, that is one heck of a deal. So please get that last banner today so we can go to press this week and get them hung up and recognize and honor our Navy. So thank you on that point. look, we have Groton, we have Mystic, we have the Connecticut Submarine Century. There's a lot of events that are going to be happening this summer. I'm not even going to mention them. I just want to point you in the right direction where the information is held, okay? So for Connecticut Submarine Century, the website, and by the way, don't memorize this, you can always Google it, but it's ctsubcentury.com. There's a tab there for events. You can click on that to find out what to go to. Also, if you have an event and would like to give it a slant, honoring the Navy, you could apply for that as well on the website. Our friends down in Mystic are always doing things. Their website is mysticdowntown.org. Check that out. And of course, the Chamber has their website, which is mysticchamber.org with all the events. One last website. This is really interesting because every once in a while, the state does something right. And they have a website for tourism for Connecticut, okay? And it's called ctvisit.com. It is really, really cool. They got it right, okay? And there are different sections, including the Eastern Tourism District. Check it out. You have friends and families out there thinking about visiting Connecticut, thinking about visiting Groton and Mystic. That is the tool to use for them to plan their trip. The only event I want to point out is that on August 19th is our normal aviation day. It's in the afternoon where the kids and the families go out and get on airplanes, get a tour of the airport, so on and so forth. And we're very fortunate to have that airport, by the way. There's only 6 general aviation airports in all of Connecticut. We have one of them, all right? That's kind of cool. But the important part, and part of Connecticut's Submarine Century, is that night, Friday, August 19th, at night, is a gala. So it is the, what are we calling it?
Air and Sea.
Air and Sea celebration, thank you. I'm not gonna get into it, but there's a flyer on every one of your desks. Save the date, you gotta go to that, it's a must-attend event. Okay, last year, one of our topics was the Thames River Heritage Park. We don't have room for that as a main topic this year, so I just wanted to bring you up to speed on that. For those of you who were here last year, on just where we are with that. You may recall that 36 years ago, there was a concept of a estuary park with the major assets we have on both sides of the river, Thames River. It was kind of conceived back then. It had a lot of fits and starts. A dock was built at the bottom of 4th Street in Groton, so on and so forth, and it never really got underway. Then about 3 years ago, the Avery Kopp Museum, probably because the Coast Guard Museum was going to be built, said, let's retain the Yale Urban Workshop and see if there's anything there for us, if our museum can grow. So the Yale Urban Design Workshop came back with a study and said, yeah, not only is it good for you, but it's great for Groton, it's great for New London. This could be really, really big. So that started the wheels going, all right, really started the wheels going. And at this juncture, there's a working committee formed, making progress by the checklist, the project plan that Yale Workshop put out. 501c is near the final stages being developed. And fingers crossed, beginning June 10th will be water taxi service from Groton to New London. I guess there's some final. There's some final commissioning plans and whatever to get the boats, and we have 2 boats, former Navy boats, which is really appropriate for this year, 2 Navy boats. They're going to be water taxis, and the price is right. It's like $20 for the weekend and $50 for the season, and the season will run hopefully June 10th start all the way to Labor Day, maybe even beyond if our passenger count is up there. Making that loop from Groton, Fort Hill, base of Fort Griswold, over to Fort Trumbull, City Pier, kind of looping around. And Jackie, where are you? Raise your hand, Jackie. Jackie Dietrich there is our captain. She's going to be driving the boat. So if you have an interest in that, be sure to look her up after the meeting, and she'll fill you in on all that. Now, what I'd like to do now is ask Mayor Galbraith to come up and fill in the holes that I left in my speech.
You did a great job, Al. I just want to point out that we have talked about the Thames River water. The Thames River Heritage Park is an economic driver, and Jackie Dietrich is our first new business associated with the Thames River Heritage Park. So thanks very much, Jackie. I don't know how many employees you're going to have, but I know you're a registered LLC. So we have a new business in Groton, our first one, thanks to the Heritage Park. Connecticut Submarine Century, you did a wonderful job of introing this. I just want to say a couple of things. We are coming up on the actual birthday. The actual birthday is June 21st. We have an entire week of celebrations, and the highlight of it all is on June 21st, we are going to have at Washington Park a big community picnic. We're going to have food vendors, we're going to have beer vendors, we're going to have music live and DJ. The cartels will be there. We're going to have Navy activities. We're going to have all of our sponsors there, and we have many people who have stepped up to sponsor Connecticut Submarine Century. We're going to have T-shirts and hats available for people. We'll have all kinds of things. But the one special gift that we're giving to the sub-school for that day is that, as any of you know, sub-school is always there to support us. How many of you have worked in areas where sub-schools come out to volunteer and help? Either the Silver Dolphins, anybody coming out and helping. Look at this. This is how they support our community. So the gift that we're giving to sub-school is we're not asking them to do a thing that day, but to show up and enjoy. So that means that we need volunteers from the community to give back to the sub-base the way that they have always given to us. So if you would come see me after this meeting and have some people in your office, or you yourself would like to volunteer for a couple of hours, it's 4 to 7:30 at Washington Park. We'd love to hear from you. We also have a sub-trail that's going to be starting soon after that, 20 fiberglass submarines. The artwork is either in progress or already completed. They will be premiered at the 4th of July parade in Groton, and then they will go out to their locations. We have one submarine left if you want to be a major sponsor. When we started this, we didn't think we were going to, we said, oh boy, we're really taking a risk here, major sponsors for 20 submarines. Hasn't been a problem. We have one left, so if you're interested, let me know. I also have the lapel pins. You'll see everybody up here has a Connecticut's, except for one person who's so obviously Submarine Century that... But everybody has their lapel pin. If you don't have yours yet to show your support, I have those, and I also have some challenge coins. Thanks.